Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where things got a little awkward last episode. We realized that our detachment mechanism is fundamentally flawed. We've had the problem before, but then it started working, so I assumed it had fixed. But now it definitely appears to be fundamentally flawed, and we're going to redesign that one from the ground up. We also forgot to include motors on these hinges, and that's going to, of course, be a little bit of a problem. We're going to replace those hinges on a future flight. Now, we're heading back to the ISS after grabbing this again. We had to go after it, of course, and we're a ways away from the ISS right now. We can see that this is drifting off, and we're going to have to redirect our positioning here. So we're going to turn RCS off here, thank you very much. And we're just going to get a little bit of a corrective burn over here. This is going to be decelerating us, and this is so awkward because of our current mass positions, right? But I don't know why this resets back if it's unmotorized. That's the thing that I don't understand about this setup here. But okay, whatever. We're going to replace those hinges any way you slice it, right? So once it's here, it feels like when we lose the thrust, it should stay here. But you see, it doesn't. So I'm going to put a little bit of thrust on. I'm going to have Bill EVA. We might actually be able to do this. Hang on a moment. We're going to let go, RCS on. We have a tiny amount of thrust on right now, but I want to hop on down over here. We need to be up a little bit higher. Okay. Back a bit. Okay. About here-ish. We're going to grab this. I'm going to strut this guy. Apparently, we drifted out of the way. That thrust is making things awkward. Okay. Strut it like that. Ooh, a weld animation. Okay. Can we not? Thanks. Okay, we're going to head back over here. And I need to grab this strut as well. I don't know if these are going to be exactly correct. We don't actually need them to be. I just want them to be down here for now. And we'll see if that holds these into place. If it does, then we don't need replacement hinges. Okay, we'll grab on and let's board. Killing the thrust. Looks good. Okay, so that is absolutely great. Now, in terms of our actual relative velocity here, we can see we're going to need some work. We need to point like at target here. We need to do some additional burning. No doubt about that. So pointing at target, we're actually going to have to point about up here. And we're going to have to start burning significantly towards target, or at least correcting our velocity, right? So we can see that that has moved this a fair amount. Now we're going to have to come down over about here or so. Just get that little bit extra correction done. There we go. Okay. This mass offset is rather extreme, no doubt about it, so we have a bit of a hard time with this, but we can use RCS now. Boy, that doesn't feel like it's doing anything. Because it mostly isn't. Okay, noted. I'm just going to point at the target for the moment. And we can see our relative speed is drifting off. That is because we're passing this right now. So we need to continue to pull this right on over. This is the only way this is actually going to work at this moment, because of our current relative position to the station. So I want to be at the target, and I want to be burning basically right at the target. And let's take this in to about, I don't know, maybe even like 100 meters per second. We've got lots of delta V here, so I'm not too concerned about that. But we'll have to accelerate for a bit here. We have to stay at low thrust. But we want to be heading towards the station, or more specifically, like over here, right? Like towards where the station is going to be. So we're just going to pull this on over. This is 50 meters per second at this point. And we'll just stop at around, I don't know, maybe 75. 75 might be okay. I want to head down over this way, although that's a little challenging. We'll go to a full 100. So it'll definitely take a bit to get back to the station. We drifted quite a long ways chasing after this guy because it was imparted with a lot of force by our bug. No doubt about that. More specifically by our bug fix, but that's to be expected. So let's head over to relative velocity minus at this point. And what is our current rendezvous going to be at? 3.1 kilometers? That seems okay. So we're going to warp forward to around here or so. There we go. And we're going to come in quite a lot closer. We are going to need to do a corrective burn. That is fully 100% expected. But we're just going to bring this right on in. We can see we're currently about 3 kilometers apart. I'm going to go to kill rot here. And we're going to start pushing this node. How high can we go on our throttle? About here? Okay. So we're just pushing this node. We've overshot a little bit here, but that's reasonably expected. And we're just bringing down our relative speed. Boy, this thing likes to drift off in that direction. Okay, we're clearly a little too high on throttle with our mass offset. So we can't really turn, but we can hold the attitude. Gotcha. So we're just bringing our relative speed down at the moment. We're only 2 kilometers out, so we could just bring it to a full stop, theoretically. But I am throwing some corrective burn in there. Ooh. Game froze for a moment. That's because we were loading in the station. Gotcha. So let's rotate this on up, and let's see where we are relative to the station here. Okay, this is not so bad at this point. So we're going to start burning over this direction, getting that corrective burn in there. And we're not moving very quick relative to the station, right? So it's definitely going to take a little bit of time here, but we can position it there. We should be basically in plane with station now. And yeah, we are. We're basically in plane with station and heading to the station. So that's looking good. At this point, we should be able to make adjustments with RCS. Now, we're still going to be lacking our second docking port over here. That's still going to need to come up. But I do believe that we're okay on the hinge situation. It's the flat sides here that the hinges need to be on, right? I'm just double checking that quick in the configuration here. Yes, that should be absolutely fine. Okay, so that is double checked and confirmed. At this point, I want to... That feels like it's going the wrong way. Okay. Yeah, because we're retrograde. Right, that would make sense. So we're just very slightly adjusting our velocity here. Cool. And now we can warp in at about this speed. It's going to drift off more, but that's expected. Cool. So in we come here. I want to be at relative velocity minus, or in fact, I want to be a little above it because I would like to do a very slight correction here. But we know that we need to come in... Let's see, which side is port and which is starboard again? The side with the quest joint airlock we determined was starboard. So I believe this is the quest joint airlock here. It's a little far out, but it looks like we're coming in starboard side. Okay. So I'm just going to position us about here. We're only 3 meters per second apart right now in terms of like how quickly we're moving towards the station. But let's continue to warp in a bit here. Looks like we're on a good heading here. Yeah, this is definitely the quest joint airlock here. So this is the starboard side. This is the port side. We want to be on port side. So that is ideal. Let's go to relative velocity minus here. And at this point, we want to be just bringing this down to a relative halt. So we're just very gently burning down. I want to set this guy as our target. And we're going to be controlling from here, but not right now. We're not going to do that right now. Can we please rotate over to the relative velocity? That would be great. Okay. 3, 2, 1, and 0. That's good enough. So now I'm going to control from here. I want to point at target. Okay. So that looks great. We're, of course, going to have to get this aligned correctly, which basically means we're going to need to go up a little bit from this directionality. I'm wondering, what direction is what? Okay. Basically, we need to roll around like this until we're in plane, I think. Okay. Let's just position here for now. What direction is up? Okay. Awkwardness ensues. But this seems reasonably fine for now. So we need to go up and in plane here. Okay. So somewhere over this direction, right? Yeah. Kind of like this. So we need to lift this thing up, and then once we are in line over here, that'll be fine. We're about 27 meters out right now, but we're not quite in line yet. Okay, I'm going to brake here for now. And we can see our relative velocity here. So I'm going to be moving that upwards a bit. Okay. Now I want to be heading basically in towards target, which I believe is this way. Ish. Ish. Okay. This direction. Now we're still going to want to go up. So I want to take this back down over this direction. Something about like that. This is down. Hang on a moment. This is down. What am I doing? Okay. Things are flipped around from the way I'm expecting them to be for no reason at all. I don't know why I was expecting them to be like that, but up is up. That is good to know. Up is up. So we're just going to go up for a bit here, and let's warp it a little bit. Okay, we're going to need to go a fair amount more up here. About here or so. Okay. So let's just bring this down to basically heading into target. And we're going to want to head into target. Looks like we do need a little bit more up. So we can certainly work on that. Things are not exactly the way I'm expecting them to be because this is a very wonky setup, right? There's no doubt about that. This is an extraordinarily wonky setup. I wonder if we're going to break this solar panel. I don't think so. But it's an interesting question, to be sure. In terms of our rotation here, we're going to want to rotate to be about here. Okay. We're in approximately the right vertical plane here. Approximately. So I'm bringing that in, double checking our rotational velocity. Okay. We're going to need to come to a halt here, because we need to go over, from our current camera's perspective, we need to go over to the right over here. So that would be this direction. Okay. Just watching our line up here. Somewhere approximately here. Okay. Now, our roll is still not exactly where we want it. So, let's roll it over this way a little bit. Okay. That's approximately correct, but I want to have the camera about here. Yeah, we can see we're still slightly off on that one. Okay. About there. Now we're going to need to go slightly this direction, but basically in towards the in towards the docking port. Okay. But maybe a little bit out over, not that way, a little bit out over this way. Okay, looking decent. Looking decent. Bringing this over. We're now heading directly towards the docking port. There's still a fair amount of distance between us here. But just eyeballing this, it looks approximately correct, which is about the best we're going to get, right? Approximately correct is about the best that we're going to get there. We can change it later if we decide to. But for the time being, this will have to do. Just watching our lineup here looks reasonable. We're still a few meters out, of course. And we can move in a bit. Because of the wacky angle that this thing is at, our thrusters are not exactly aligned, which does make this certainly a little bit awkward. But I think that this is about as close as we're going to get. So we're just going to dock this guy right on in here. We can slow this down a little bit and recenter our velocity. Yeah, that looks really, really close. Sufficiently close. Cool. And we're docked. Magnificent. So next up, of course, we're going to need to get some struts and strut this together. At least 2 of them. Now, we used up our 2 spare struts here, so we're going to have to take these struts, I think, and that, of course, means that the shuttle is going to be kind of flying all over. So, Bill, I'm going to have you EVA for right now. We're going to grab... I guess we're going to have to go down here. RCS on, please, Bill. Flip around. There you go. We're going to have to go down a bit here. And I'm going to grab this strut, and I'm going to store it in... here. I'm going to move this parachute if I can. Wow, things got very laggy. Okay. We cannot store that in Bill's inventory. Where did that even go? Is this it right here? No. I don't know where that strut went. Is it up here? I think the game just ate a strut. No, it's this here, isn't it? Yeah, this is it. Okay. So next, we want the shuttle to release its hold. There we go. So the shuttle is out of here for right now. I want to, at this point, disarm this grab arm. And I want to unextend all of this. And we'll stow this away. Okay. This can be stowed as well. And that all looks good. So, next, of course, we're going to need to grab our struts that are up here. Okay. And place them just down here for now. I don't care what they connect to, just connect to something. Just have them down here. There we go. Now, the shuttle, it's kind of drifting awkwardly. So, shuttle, please make your way out of there if you can. Okay, kill rot. Just a teeny tiny amount of speed away from the station. There we go. Now, Bill's drifting, and we're going to have him head on over this way. Because we need to get these struts installed, right? That is the mission right now. So the struts are going to get installed here. And we're just going to put one here. There we go. And one here. And that's going to connect in right there. Cool. We'll consider that good enough. And Bill, your job here is actually quite done. So we're able to bring this back now. We now know that we do not need replacement hinges. We managed to get that done. So that's phenomenal. The next question is, what do we need here? Well, I want to grab onto the shuttle if Bill can ever get into the right alignment. There we go. I want to hop into the shuttle, and I want to hop back over to the station real quick here. So, back over here. Do we happen to have one of these Clampatron Docking Port Juniors in stock somewhere? We might. We might have a spare one around. So, I'm just checking locations where one might exist here. Hello. Okay, we do have a spare one. So that's magnificent. In that case, I'm going to set this as our target. We're going to rotate to relative velocity plus. We can see we're moving at about 0.5 meters per second. I want to stop the motion of the shuttle here. So we're just going to turn RCS on, and we're going to go reverse here. And I'm going to adjust our velocity a wee bit. There we go. And we'll call that good. Cool. Go on, Killrot. And Bill, you're going to EVA. You're going to go grab that. We just happened to have a spare, so we can actually get this all taken care of. No issue whatsoever. Now, where was that spare? I believe it was down in here. And we're going to have to kind of move it along here. It goes right at the end here, because that was destroyed previously. Okay. We don't want to collide with things. Cool. So let's just position right about here. And we are going to grab this guy. And for now, we're just going to put it in space here. Excellent. We need to take this out to the end. So I'm just, not you. Okay. That's very awkward. That's not where I wanted that, but we'll change that. This weld animation is very, very awkward. Can we not? Thank you, Bill. Okay, let's get this back under control. It grabbed the wrong thing there when I clicked, which was sad. Okay, let's try this again. I just want this docking port. Okay, put it out in space. We're going to head this way, and we're going to grab it. Then I'm going to rotate it around about like this. We're going to put it here for now because we're going to need to come to a halt. Okay. Grab it. Grab it. There we go. Okay. We need to kill this velocity, right? Because it picks up our velocity. We can't actually hold this. So we need to rotate this. But what I need to do right now is kill that velocity. Okay. So something about like that, and then we want it to attach on right down here, right? So that's going to need to go down a decent amount. And we would just put it right on the edge here. It doesn't want to snap onto that. We can put it here for now. It's an awkward place for that to go, but okay. We've got the weld animation occurring. Now we can grab it and rotate it to go over here and put it right there. Now, I don't know if that's exactly aligned the way it needs to be. I think it actually kind of is. I think it's okay. It's just kind of rotated, but its rotation doesn't actually matter. So that should be reasonably fine. I like it. So at this point, we need to go fix this radiator, right? We didn't break the radiator, but we accidentally grabbed it, and it needs to be repositioned. So let's hop on down here. And just get this set up again. I want snapping on for the moment. And let's just grab the radiator and put it in right about there. And then we could just slightly move it. Yeah, that's about right. It's not exactly where it was before, but it's close enough. So at this point, Bill, you're going to head back to the station, or rather to the shuttle. You've done enough damage here. No doubt about that. I'm actually shocked we managed to fully recover that. without having to bring in any additional parts. That is actually remarkable. I like it. It's very, very great. So we're going to hop in over here. There we go. This shuttle mission is, at this point, concluded. But we can hop over here. And of course, we're going to be moving this truss structure. Was that moved with the shuttle or with the Canadarm? I don't actually know, and I'm actually going to check that right now. So taking a look at that, if we can go back to the integrated truss structure, that would be nice. Okay, so the P3, P4 truss here, yeah. So the P1 truss... This isn't actually telling me, because this is actually the P6 truss. Right. Contains a large solar array wing. Yes, yes. It was originally mounted to the Z1 truss, which it is right now. That is absolutely correct. Shuttle mission detached it, remounted it on the P5 truss. Okay, so we're going to have to send up the P5 truss, which is the actually very next flight. And that is going to go here. And then we would put this guy right on top of that. So that's fine. We can extend out these solar panels, and that'll be great. In preparation for that, I'm going to retract these solar panels, as well as retracting these radiators, because this is going to be moved. Although, it's going to take another shuttle mission, right? So we're going to have to land this and then bring up the new truss module. But that is a mission for next episode. This one got a little awkward, but in the end, we got there. It seems to have worked out okay. I like it. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.